Okay, what's up? Again, yes, yes. We, oh, man. Okay. Uh, trying this again. Trying this again. We're back. I dropped. Hope. Give it a second. Wait for everyone to kind of pop back in. Um, that was my bad. Uh, that did not go as planned. uh, so if you're tuning into this one, there was another stream that was actually going good. Internet and everything was going good. I dropped my body on the computer and shut it off. We restarted real quick. So just gonna fixing some stuff up here real quick. Maybe not. Whatever. We'll mess with it later. Okay. There we go. We're back. Hanging up on us. Yeah, I shut the whole thing off. But yeah, we'll get back to that in a second. Let me just get caught up here. We're back in. Now you need one of those carbon fiber hybrid. I do need to see the width on that. I don't know how wide this is going to be yet. So we may have to, yeah. But yes, a lot of carbon fiber on this build. So without dropping it and shutting off the stream again, we have the carbon fiber cliffhanger cab that I picked up from in trade with my friend Jake. And it already had all the interior in here. It has a nice interior cage and some skeleton drivers. And it does have a handmade flatbed here. So these two together do count as a full custom hard body. So full custom hard body with the interior cage and everything. Just the body alone sets at negative 36 points. So that's pretty, that's just body. So class 2, I'm going to have a T-case, chassis mount servo, and some bumpers. Just that's well over 50 without even putting a single scale item on the truck, but it's naturally going to because I have a winch and rotors and stuff like that. But definitely excited about this one because it is also narrowed. So doing the measuring and everything, everything sets up exactly how my high-low is and everything. It is going to be exactly my track width at its widest. So I may do something on here for height just for a little bit extra room and just a little bit extra width just for a little bit of breathing room. But we should hopefully get this and everything set up. I'm looking at it, I think everything's going to set nicely. If it doesn't, we'll go with a different body and I will find a home for that without dropping it or throwing it at anybody. I really want to find a carbon. Yeah, I want to keep my eye out for if anyone happens to see any of the new Hilux carbon bodies that Krupp Carbon Works just released and sold. There's a Hilux. And I'm shooting myself in the foot for not snagging one. If anyone sees one go up that someone doesn't end up using, let me know. Hanging up on, yeah, that was totally my bad. Is it happening again? No, internet's fine. I dropped the body on the computer and turned it off. Yeah, body looks sick. Thank you very much. Found my skid for my high-low. Nice. Good job. Got the skid, so now you can get the high-low underway. Let's back up. Jake, are you back in here? Okay, you're back. Speaking of high-low, Jake, you need to order some links for your high-low. You do. As long as you don't go wider than 70mm chassis spacers, you're good. If it's wider than a pro bumper, may work. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how wide it's going to be yet. I do not know. I will have to check. Plus, I've actually started getting the hang of building bumpers, and I've been building the crap out of them. They don't look good, but they work and they function perfectly. Actually, No, because that one, I was going to do a rear bumper on that Nessie too, but it's quite a bit of distance, so I'm just not even going to worry about it, because honestly, I don't need the bumper either, because not too worried about it. You better talk to Dallas about it. She's the boss. Well, I think you need to check something, because you need them. You're not going to be able to put it together when it gets there if you don't have links. So, you need to order links. What axles are you using on your high-low? Aw. Started trimming the capper cage. Nice. Always a good build. Always a fan of a chopper. Some about them, they always look good. They're cool. RC, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Oh, you're using your SSD44. So when you order links, just order links for a Capra. Because they're still... I always ordered links for either AR44s or Capras, because almost everything, at least 90% of the links are going to work. You just have to move over a little bit, but I think Capra's close enough to an AR44 as far as 4-link. He's not catching on at all. I don't think he is catching on at all. But, yeah, I'd go ahead and order links. Pick your wheelbase. What wheelbase are you going at? 12? Well, if you're staying straight axle, yeah, I'd probably stay with 12.5. When will they post more about Crawlapalooza? I haven't heard. We know the dates, but are the rules going to be the same as from last year? So Apex tickets should be going on sale here at the end of the month or soon. They're $35 a ticket. Remember, that's only Class 2 for that whole weekend. Crawlapalooza, they said, I think Theron said their tickets were supposed to go on sale and more info at the end of the month. Speaking of Theron, we need to figure out how to use our golden tickets. So yeah, I think hopefully more tickets and stuff go, info goes up on it. And said I have a golden ticket, so I should be good. I think that'll get me in. Plus, as much as I help, I think I should hopefully be good. I just need to know how to use that. So I just need to grab Class 2 and 3 tickets for the kiddo. And they said it's still hit and miss if I will be there the whole weekend. Unsure. It's unsure if I will be there the whole weekend, depending on how someone else does. If they decide to, add to the family before then or after, it all depends on how that part goes. But I have heard tickets at the end of the month. And rule-wise, that is a very good question. I'm going to assume they're mostly like last year. But I want to bring it up too when they post the rules, because others are doing it. So mostly that one's always, P-scale rules, this and that. Now, Crawlapalooza is always hard body Class 1, which is fine. Except, most of us have already built hard body. Most of us have hard body Class 1s. I have this one, which actually you guys hadn't seen that on the stream. I've seen pictures of it, which is fine. Like King, Missouri requires a hard body for Class 1, but they are allowing the rules of fits the 2023 rules, because a lot of us, we don't build multiple hard body Class 1s. Or I don't have a 2022 rule and a 23 rule Class 1. I have a 2023 rule. So if it requires certain things, my bug is out, I think. Maybe. I think the biggest thing is my tire coverage, for sure, would would need fixed. But that's the biggest thing. That's my biggest concern is knowing that all the new rules are out and knowing that a lot of us have been going to major events with 2023 rules, and that's even locally how we've been doing it. I hope the rules stay like that. Yeah, because they require 50% tire coverage on Class 1. I am not 50% tire coverage on Class 1. Like, my body's barely over the edge of the tire. Speaking of this, this is the hard body that I have been working on, the bug here. So I took 2 Tamiya bodies, cut them in half, and then adjusted accordingly to fit my wheelbase, and then put them together. We got the roof cut off, we got a cage all made and fabricated all the way around there. We got the bumpers made, even bent them up some. If you notice there, look at that. Look at all that gap. I don't care. I'm not filling the gap on the front because I don't need to. And that's the big thing there. Filling the gap, you only have to fill the gap if you're going for hard body points. If you're not going for hard body points, you don't need to fill the gap. You just have to meet the rectangle, and which the bumpers technically meet your rectangle specs and make you legal to run. Granted, my body also does technically meet the rectangle because I do reach the edge of the tire, because the rules state it must meet. All it has to do is meet the spec. And the same sliders that I used for the Lexan body. So they're built exactly as wide as my track width, and right to the edge of my tire. So I made it to where the sliders work for both bodies. And so all I have to do is I undo body clips. This body comes off and my Lexan goes on. So multiple options. And I did, so like I said, I'm not filling the gap in the front because I don't want to or need to, and it looks better. However, I did fill the gap in the rear. So I took some Kydex and we made a whale wing. And it stops right as the bumper bar starts. So nice, good, and the gap is filled. Jake, hold on, I'll message you. So, there you go, Jake. Got it. Now that you've caught on and figured out how everything's going. Oh, Esrom, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Hope all's well. All good here. Just hot. Just really hot. That's about it. Theron's sweet. So, okay. I assume they'll save us a spot. And Jake, I just messaged you. Yes, 50% tire coverage. We're more than halfway through 2023. Come on, people. I know. Well, and that's just it, because with the living rules, it took a lot to adapt. I kind of knew the first year, I had a feeling the first year, like once we read the rules, started seeing people's reaction, the first year is going to be rough to get comps to adopt to these rules. Now, it's not that all of them have to be met, but people have to realize, or hosting comps, that we travel to lots of different comps. And if we're building, and most of the comps we're going to or hosting local, P-scale's fine. I have P-scale trucks. That's fine to build for P-scale, perfectly fine. But when it comes to certain things like Class 1's generally always the same rule set. Rather, it's anything, Class 1 always has its own dedicated rules. But if you have lots of people traveling, locally run Sorca, the new Sorca rules, and go to larger Sorca comps, know that their Class 1 is probably built to those rules accordingly. So I'm hoping, I hope it's all good. Like I said, that's the only reason I went ahead and made a hard body for my Class 1 and did not stay Lexan, is because of Crawlapalooza. If I do end up making it, I know they require hard body. So we went ahead and built one. And plus, I've been wanting to do a bug Class 1 for a while. And using 2 bodies, cutting them in half, and stretching them out to match my wheelbase worked so good. I said I really debated on extending it out to about 12 3-inch wheelbase for Class 1. but I decided to leave it at my 11.8. I've driven 11.8 for a long time, and I already had the Lexan body, so I was like, that way, if I stay the wheelbase, I can interchange my bodies and be just fine. So, but yeah. Standard Crawlapalooza rules. So I need... What? Does anyone have the old Crawlapalooza rules handy from last year? My bumper is as wide as my windshield. And it's just 50% tire coverage. It doesn't actually say anything about the actual width. Is this considered a major body modification? I mean, here's the thing. I can have it narrow like this. If we're going by old rules, this is all perfectly fine. But right here, you just simply take some Lexan or some styrene and make really wide fenders. Call it good. So I have questions on that then, on what's going to be allowed or not. Because per the old rules, I think this was considered a major body modification. The cutting the roof was fine per the old rules. I don't think I mean, it's not. Is it a major body modification? I mean, well, and I trimmed down. Yeah, this body wouldn't be. I trimmed out my. No, I don't know. I don't know. I will. I'll have to ask on that one. Because I don't think that body is, now that I'm thinking about it, that body is not legal per the old rules by 1 millimeter of cutting. And that's why the new Class 1 rules are better. Because 1 millimeter of cutting either takes that body out of spec per the old rules. New rules, I'm fine, so you don't accidentally cut too much. Or if you do accidentally cut too much, you're still fine. So, that'll be a good question. We'll have to ask that. Oh, thank you, Theron. Class 0. Ooh, I don't have a Class 0. Class 1, 4.9 or less. No tire modifications. Wheel base must be no more than ½ inch larger or shorter than the body. Check, check. Front bumpers, full width bumpers required. Must extend beyond the body. Correct. Must be at least the width of your front windshield. Correct. There we go. No major body modifications at all. Mild trimming around the fender wells and bob beds will be allowed. Front windshield is required. Check. 2D or 3D interiors required. Check. No tubies or truggers. Good. Flatbeds cat width. Tires cannot extend more than half tread beyond the body. Flares can be used to extend the width as needed. So, 10 scale items. Plenty of scale items there. Okay, so... Okay, reading those, I just need to add fender flares. Which that's actually easy. That's an easy fix. That's doable. Okay, I'm not as worried now. I feel better. Other than that, yeah, just trying to waiting on those last few parts, and said the EXO transmission tomorrow, and then we'll get started. Brett, what's up? How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. So, I was watching Monday night. It was on my phone, and I was putting the little one down for nap, and I apparently took a nap too. So, I woke up, and I was like, oh, cool, I didn't miss nothing, and it was replaying already, so... My bad. So I was there. I was just... Apparently I needed a nap too. Just thinking should have another high-low order that just came through a little bit ago. got one. One is coming for old Mr. Jake there. Also told, I did tell Dallas to get the accessory stuff, the winch mount and the electronics tray and everything. I told her to get all that for the high-low too. So you're welcome, Jake. You got all the good stuff. Happens the best. Yeah. Especially lately, man. Your shop, you have AC in the shop? I want to say, I thought you said you did, but still, we have AC too, but in a big shop, AC only goes so far. Plain and simple. AC only goes so far in a big shop. Is that one supposed to go? There. Yep, 70 in the shop all the time. Well, nice. So it's pretty warm. I think. And said yesterday was, I think, temperature-wise, the humidity was I think worse today, but temperature-wise was worse yesterday. I think. See, at the end of the day, I think it was at my toolbox. Which in the hottest part, like, again, you have AC, which it is what it is. Some's still better than none. But that space between, like, the bay and your toolbox, where you're working, that doesn't get a whole lot of fan flow. Now, I do have one of the nice new wind tunnel fans in my toolbox. So that thing, I don't think it's turned off this week. But I said that area in between that bay and my toolbox, about 95 degrees inside. Just because it's just that hot. AC can only do so much. Working on AC is only can only bring the temperature down so far. Regardless, it doesn't matter. Just because you want it at 60 doesn't mean it can bring it down to 60. But anyway, so 95 degrees there, and then you're pulling in cars, working on cars that are. I think the average. They didn't say on it. It was like the average temperature of cars, like when they come in the shop and you're actually working on them, is like about 150 or 175 degrees. So yeah, all that heat, just like your machines, all that heat coming off the car, or like if you saw my picture today, you're tearing out the interior, tearing out the inside of a car, inside of a vehicle, tearing it all the way apart. There's no breeze. There's no fan. It gets really hot, really fast inside of a car when you're taking it all the way apart. It was actually, the last few days have been pretty good. Had a nice, easy engine and a head gasket yesterday. So, it was a good couple days. Austin, what's up, buddy? Krupp Cardworks in the house. And, of course, Brett with Brazen in the house as well. Our favorite peoples. You see it finally sitting down for the day. Yeah, I'm beat. Y'all have seen, you've seen the team chat. It's been a week. It's been a day. It's hot. Since you're here, Austin, we have it's sitting here. I'm getting parts ready for it. And it's nice blue loveliness. Just finishing and getting these actually ready for the hide as well. But yeah, it's been some weather. I'm glad. I think it was Tuesday night. Got home from work, picked up the kiddo. We got home. Was like, all right, ate dinner real quick. I was like, you know what? I think looking, it was still hot. It was hot Tuesday. But I was like, looking at the weather, I was like, man, I need to mow. So grabbed kiddo. He grabbed the weed eater. Went to town around the yard for me, and I just mowed the rest of the yard. And I'm glad we did that Tuesday night, because it just got worse. Tonight, the sun went down earlier, clouds came in earlier, so that helped it a lot. So, but still, I think it's supposed to be 100 tomorrow still too. So we'll see how that goes. Seth, how's your day, everyone? Mine's been pretty decent here. Since I got the V3 to to crawl rear steering all. Nice. Very, very good. Yeah, I see that shell left of a car. Yeah, it was not too shabby. But, I mean, luckily there were I didn't find any defects. So it looked like it was, outside sources, like probably a little critter. It looks like the car sets at some time, so that's probably what caused some stuff to go. But it's what it is. We'll see tomorrow. It's the end of the day. I don't care. Done. Grip Remarks. Little tip. The front and rear rails go on the inside of the centerpiece. The best makes the front rear narrower. Will do. I will change that. I think I was questioning myself. It said they go on the inside. Yes, I do have them on the inside. I was looking at your picture because I was sitting there. I was like, okay, does this goes on the outside or the inside? So I popped up a few of your pictures and zoomed in. I was like, that's on the outside. So, and I'll try to cover most of that when we get going tomorrow. This week one, I'm going to show this first in its build video just to show how the three pieces come together. And then, of course, because I got just rails, we'll leave the fun stuff, as in me cussing at getting stuff to fit. We'll leave that off camera until I'm done, and then make it look like it was all just went together smooth. But said last piece comes in tomorrow, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Oh, hey, Theron. Hold on. Class 0 for Crawlapalooza. Hard bodies, all windows with bumpers. Bumpers must be as wide as the car's windshield. Must be fully intact. No country cab only is not allowed. Fender wheels are required. No pinching, dovetailing, bobbing, narrowing. Wheel wells. 3D interior. A complete driver. Must run a full-length rail chassis. Flat stock is allowed as there is no specific material requirements. Must have a minimum of 2 inches longer than wheelbase. Tires no longer than 4 inches. Tire tread must be completely inside the fenders. So, speaking of Brett, if you're still in here. So, reading the Class 0 rules for Crawlapalooza. So, there's nothing on angled skid. Actually, I don't think there is in Class 1 either. It means I can build a leaf spring mullet for Class 0. That's the one thing I don't have. Again, if I can make it, might as well just build it anyway. That was one thing I was thinking. I was like, you know what? If I'm doing Class 0, I think Class 0 just feels better. If I run a Class 0, it's like, it has to have leaf springs, right? That's just, leaf springs and Class 0 just go together. Didn't say it couldn't be a performance leaf spring chassis. Ow. Custom RC, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. They're in mode today. At least the sun went down a little bit sooner, so that definitely helped out. 106 now. It's going in the right direction. Getting there. Oh my god, it's been awful. What a week. Yeah, it's been a week. I think everyone's had a week. And this heat just, I think, makes everything worse and more irritable. Honestly, I've even, I love food, but I've only been snacking during the week this week. It's I think it was Tuesday. Tuesday was the first day. It was considerably hot Tuesday. I went and I grabbed some lunch, came back, sat in my truck with the AC, ate it, and went back inside. And I just was like, it's hot. I just did not feel good after eating. It wasn't like the food was bad. I just didn't feel good after eating. So the rest of this week, I just plenty of fluids. But I've just been snacking during the day. I just can't eat a whole lot. My wife's gets dinner ready right when I get home. Then I just chow down from there. But yeah. Customer C, I got some XR with Air 44s like the ones you got, but can't decide on a chassis. I have the mullet or high-low or the ATL B2. For those axles, I would go with high-low because you're going to want to run axle mounted servo with those anyway. Just go with the high-low. That'll be a fun build right there. XR with Air 44s and a high-low. That'll be a pretty nasty rig there. Oh, you got it. Consider. Yeah, I said it took. I think I actually did put it together wrong the first time. I was like, all right, and I was like, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure this goes the other way because I remember the shock towers being on the inside too. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure that everything just goes inside of each other. So, but definitely excited for that. And that blue looks good. And you saw the picture of those wheels. I said nothing fancy, but especially with the yellow forged carbon rotors, just really look good. And so that build's going to be a lot of carbon fiber. We got the carbon fiber chassis, we got the carbon fiber body. I do have carbon fiber wheels. Maybe some different carbon fiber wheels here soon. Wink, wink. We'll see. Yeah, brazen mullet in class 0 would be rowdy. Yes. The mullet in class 0, full leaf spring, that would... You wouldn't even need portals. You could just run, straight axles too. Do I have? Ooh. Ow. That's what I missed last week. There was a mullet drop last week, wasn't there? Yeah. Oh, dang it. I messed up. Oh, full party mullet is still in stock. Okay. Added cart. What all do I have in my cart? Oh. Okay. I will order that mullet here in just a second. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Just a cat mode yesterday. Happy dad. No, nice. Yeah, it's been something for sure. Curb works, yes. Yep. Ooh, you got me on those ones, man. Those, I'm excited. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm excited. Very excited. But I'm also hooked. Like, I had to do some thinking because I really wanted to run 1.9s, which that's what these ones are. Some 1.9s, and I even got some crawlers, so it'll be corrupt and correct with some crawlers because they work. And I haven't ran crawlers in a while, and I really like the crawlers too. So we busted a Theron had an extra set, so I snagged some. But I've been running 2.2s on everything so much because, especially running the F10s, the 2.2s make life so much easier on clearing F10 portals, with or without brass. I mean, now with these big honkers on here, it's going to take a little bit regardless, but that'll be alright. I don't want to hear you complain about the heat. Try being 6 months pregnant. Hey, that's your own fault. Literally. It's your own fault. Actually, it's Jake's fault. But, nonetheless, I mean, you have AC. And honestly, you're 6 months pregnant. You don't have to do anything. You just sit down and be like, boom. There's my reasoning right there. Oh, yeah. I was running crawlers for a while. I don't know why I necessarily stopped running them, but I just did. I really wanted to do a set of some cut-shut crawlers, but just never quite get around to it. Oh, son of a bitch. There we go. I swear to God. Mom and Snapchat is ridiculous. There we go. There we go. Whew. But, and also, again, man, that's Def Customs, right? Body on yours. Austin, that thing is sick. Every time. I freaking love that. Tight fit with the breast. Yeah. Actually, I need to... So I test fit with the hub on here the other night. It didn't fit. But with the rotor installed, it was just enough. And it is. So that actually look pretty good. That will look pretty dang good. Glad I'm not the only weirdo who wears gloves while wrenching. It's shocks and like axles and grease. Like I at least wear one generally. Plus, like honestly, I am used to wearing gloves from work. It's not that I don't like getting dirty. By all means, I like, every once in a while, gloves stay off and I get down dirty ninja. But work on customer cars all day long. Latex gloves save you so many angry customers because you don't have to worry about grease stains. Your hands get dirty, gloves off, in the trash. New set of gloves on, you're done with the car, gloves off, hands are still clean, drive the car, put it in the wash, give it to the car wash guys, the porters, whatever. So I'm used to wearing latex gloves when I'm working anyway, just because, like I said, it saves you a ton of angry customers. Plain and simple, because people are just mad about everything anymore. Like, ridiculously mad about anything anymore. There we go. So, yeah, definitely work, especially shock oil and like certain things like coolant. I absolutely hate the feel of coolant. Taste, it doesn't taste too bad, but the feel, the texture coolant leaves on your skin drives me bonkers. Worse than the smell of gear oil. Now we all know gear oil smell, but yeah, the feel of coolant on like your hands or your skin drives me bonkers. Like, it irritates me instantly. Brake fluid's another one. Brake fluid just also has another weird feel. But coolant just really, really, like, coolant gets the hands like I grab the brake clean and I spray it off. It's just that feel, that texture, not cool. Ricky Ralph, hey, what's the body on the Nessie build? So that is, I'll pull it back over here in a second. I just finished up the axle there. So that is the, this is the Montec crawler body. That's simply what it's put. Montec crawler body, or crawler pickup, I think is what it is. I think me and Theron checked. They're still on. I got this, and then they went on back order, and I think they were still on back order. But you can search A-Main or Hobby Town, stuff like that. They do carry them. I do believe it is on back order right now. But again, very good looking body. Definitely cool, and especially any body that has a built-in scale point. Definitely makes life easier. And said honestly, those side pipes too, they also look really good. So definitely not mad at those at all. Yeah, Shakro. RC Gate Hitters, what's up, buddy? How's it going, Timmy Tim? See, name gets every time. Gate Hitters. I like it. Well, I don't know if Justin had it the last time you guys were all up here, but he's got Gate Smasher shirt, and it is awesome. I think that's what I want to do on like a Tier D Adventures shirt. Like, Tier D Adventures, either Crawl On or Gate Smashers on the back, just because it's fun. And we all know I like to hit gates, so it's okay. I use the Nitro 7mm for locksmith, and yes, exactly, yeah. Customers, and honestly, people have gotten worse. Exceptionally worse anymore. And, I think it's just, with the price increase, everything's so expensive. Like, get your car worked on. Like, honestly, if I was not a technician and was able to do my own work, I don't know if I could afford having my vehicle and doing the stuff. If I was doing the math, and like if I paid someone to do everything that I've done in my truck, it's outrageous. But and everything just keeps going up. So, and I think people, they're paying X amount of dollars for it, so they're expecting X amount better service. It's just everything's just kind of going up. Yes, it's expensive, but at the same time, we're all people. We make mistakes. Stuff happens. I may drop something. I may dent something. I may break a little trim piece on a 20-year-old car just because it's a 20-year-old car. But honestly, ever since the vid, it is it's gotten immensely worse. Everything. And my wife works retail, and it's bad on my side, and her side working retail, it is absolutely horrendous the way everyone treats retail workers anywhere, even fast food for that matter. It's like, I'm a firm believer though, like I think at some point growing up, I think everyone should spend at least X amount of time working fast food and then like X amount of time working retail, so they know how that side of it works, and then they can become a customer. And I guarantee they would not be nearly as rude as they are. And a lot of times they're mad at everyone for stuff that they have no control of. They're just doing their job, and they're getting yelled at for no reason. We're witnessing the devil. As sad as it sounds, it's getting there. Like, it is just, lose just a little more faith in humanity every day. And my memes get darker and darker every day. Because unless the dark humor is the only thing that keeps a lot of us rolling anymore lately. Just having some fun. So we're good there. Man, actually, I think we're caught up on just about everything. Minus the transmission, which will be here tomorrow. My ESC. Got another silent ESC to try. And shit, we're ready to rock and roll. Actually, I know I pulled this out. I know we saw them in on the last live stream. We did work the winch on 4S, but I don't know if we can actually see the size difference here. Retail will make you hate every person ever worked it. In a box store for a long time, had to quit towards the end. Blood pressure. Oh, dude, totally. This is it. Like, there's no easy way to put that, but I understand completely what you're saying, 100%. I don't have an internal spool winch hanging out of a car right now, but so for the general point, like, here's your standard servo winch size. Whether it be spool with an external spool, they're all going to be roughly about this size, give or take. Maybe some low profile, as far as your overall height there. And obviously, internal spool would not have the spool. So your standard servo winch that most of us use. And then you have like the micro servo winches. Like right here is the Reefs 99 micro winch. Super tiny, fits in lots of places. And now, from Three Brothers, we have the Atlas, right? The Atlas Micro Pro. I keep saying the Pro Micro servo winch. So it is tiny like this, and it is external spool. But cool thing here is it is 25 tooth spline, so it can accommodate for a standard spool. And also, being that it's a standard size, you're going to have more strength there. And it is also a direct power micro servo winch. And it is 4S capable. And it actually it's pretty rowdy on 4S. That's what I will be running my own. That's what we got set up there in the Nessie. And this will also be going in the Jekyll and Hyde too. Because I was sitting there, and then like I said, this is your standard micro servo winch, and then here is the new Atlas micro servo winch. So it is a little bit bigger. You do have some mounting options and everything there. So stay tuned for that. But, I mean, most of us, we find ways to mount stuff. And the first time I had mine set up, I actually used just some standalone servo tabs and mounted them up. And then you can mount them directly to the side of the chassis rail and stuff like that. But stay tuned for some more mounting options. That'll make life 10 times easier. I don't think I can. But anyways, definitely excited for this, and I think that's a. And honestly, I am impressed with this. I'm impressed with this winch so far, and it is two things that in servo winches that I generally do not like. I do not like external spool, and I generally don't like micro servo winches because they generally don't have the oomph that I want. And this seems to be the sweet spot. It's got the oomph and enough speed to make me happy. This actually hits all my check marks. I'm not mad or disappointed with this at all. And definitely, speed on the 4S is pretty good. I like it considerably. So definitely, as I said, I grabbed several of these for all the new builds. We got one in the high-low there. We got one in the Nessie, and we will have one in the Hyde. So definitely we'll be putting plenty of them through the paces. And Thaird's got one. He's rocking local as well. And Colin, were you in here? He's got one. He's one of our good friends down the Oklahoma crew, and he got one, and he used it a lot this weekend down in Oklahoma and had a blast with it. And he said it did really, really good. So, I did, RC, I did executive protection for a while, talked about seeing some people that don't deserve what they have. I could see that for sure. I hear you on that one. I hear you. The right to not be offended is one of the greatest rights, but it's the least used. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Joey, when are you going to get your Vanquish done? At this point, I don't know. It'll probably sit on the shelf for a while. Like I said, I need to order gears for it. I need to pick up new axles because I stole the axles, but at the same time, Element released the U-Tron, which apparently shipped out, and I didn't even realize it, so I need to go to Hobbytown and see if they have one. So I'll probably get the U-Tron, and that'll have my attention for a while. So at some point, I'll get the Phoenix put back together, or it'll just sit there. I have all the parts, so at some point it'll go back together. Just kind of whenever I feel like it, but I got enough other builds and trucks to keep me entertained for a while. Ooh. Ow. Ooh. I was thinking of getting the Pro Body. But they've all gone. Yeah, the Pro Body's gone too. Luckily, I do have another one. They are back in stock. I just now saw that. Ooh. Did you order one? You should. That body, I'm very happy with that body. I do have an extra S610 Pro Body because when I bought the Pro Body, I got the first one and saw this. I was like, I like this. So I ordered a second one just to have as a backup because I thought it was going to go fast, and they did. Ivan, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Crook Remarks, is that the micro size or mini size? So this is considered, yes, this is micro. That is what this one is called, is the micro 0-inch versus, like I said, the Reach 99. Like that. So, noticeable size difference there. So, definitely excited. Like I said, it would take something for me to be impressed with that one just because, like I said, it's two things that I generally don't go for in a winch. Not that I don't use them, because I do use external spool winches. It's in my class 1. It's just not something, like if I can have internal spool winch, that is what I prefer. But external spool and a smaller, not standard size servo, impressed. Really am. And I've done several just deadlift tests with it, seeing how it does, and it holds its own very, very well. So again, definitely excited with it. And if you missed out, that 4th of July sale on these was actually a pretty good deal. It was the Atlas Micro Pro, and what else did I get? And it was the G13 Pro servo. Both of them together were like $180 because each one's $100 on sale. So they were on sale together for $180, which was a very good deal. So I unfortunately did not get to partake in that deal, but it's okay. We got our goodies. We got our electronics, and that was so we got all stocked up there. And again, the G13 Pro. I don't know if this one has. No, he's got the speed on the page. It didn't get printed on the box. It's, what was it, like 3? How fast was it for a second? I don't remember. But I know someone was talking about the servos earlier. So yeah, the G13 Pro here on 4S is $850, and 5S is over $1,000. And I said, for the price of this versus the other servos, the Pro I think has the best specs for a servo, under $100. And then we also got another new one. We got some new motors as well. Actually, I just need to open that box. Like, apparently I missed out. Like, when we got all the new yellow jackets, like I got the 2100s and I think there was the 2500. I apparently totally didn't realize that they had a 1500 as well. Darren, did you know that? Like, I missed that meeting on the team driver page, but there's a 1500 kV yellow jacket available. And that's what I got, 2 of them ready to rock and roll for all the new builds, because also, one, the yellow jacket is just so buttery smooth, but with the hide and just the way everything is, I was like, I know I'm going to need a really tiny motor and everything female-wise, so the yellow jacket is my weapon of choice for this one. Which is actually my weapon of choice in just about every build, if I'm going to be honest, but... And one thing, too, the look on that G13 Pro that's just a good-looking servo, regardless. That is a good-looking servo. I think the only other servos out there that do the cool stuff, like the shift servos look really good, too. Ryan does really good jobs with the etch and everything. Those look really cool, but just clean and just good-looking servo. Really, really love it. Just ordered another Sun Assassin Black Jacket. On top of the one from yesterday? Any thoughts on the Holmes 650 servo? I don't run them personally. I mean, I'm a driver for Three Brothers, so those are my servos of choice in general. But I've heard good things about it. I haven't heard anybody not happy with the servo, and I've seen them work in action, and they perform really, really well. They're good, strong, direct power, and everything. So I think they're good. I wouldn't not recommend one by any means. They're good servos. Will that fit a micro servo mount? No. Currently no. But stay tuned. There should be a mount available very, very soon to accommodate for them. I don't know. One has, but yeah, stay tuned for that. I don't think it won't be an issue very long at all. Regardless, it is easy enough. It is easy enough to figure out some ways to get some stuff mounted up. So, Chris, hey y'all. I've seen Holmes is running a couple servos. Sales on servos and motor. Got a 540 revolver KV for $25. That's a pretty good deal. I mean, honestly, any good motor for $2,500 is a pretty solid deal. Austin, I have the black jacket in mine. It's pretty nice for sure. Ran it with the Micro 2 until I can run it, so I can run it censored. Oh yeah, the black jacket's good. And not even not censored, with one of the AM32s, whether it be the Silent Assassin, or I run mine also with that Rhino RC. Still super, super smooth, even uncensored. And that black jacket can take some abuse, so definitely happy with that. Been impressed with my NSD R700. Also another strong S servo out there for sure. You have 2 coming. Okay. Yeah, I ordered a Dinky RC released. I had talked to him. He had helped me a while back. He had helped me on my when I was having issues with the Rhino ones, and then he was getting his release. So I was like, all right, well, as soon as I saw him, I got one ordered, and actually be here too. So see how that works. I'll either use it in the hide, or probably pull out my Assassin and put that in the hide, and then put the Dinky in the other one, and go from there. I have the actually the only NSDRC servo that I've used is the 5th scale one for the SCX6, because Jake won that for me at Crawlapalooza, because he ran my truck and he won the servo, so I took the servo. I take that back. I've used a couple of the XB, their budget servos, and a couple of them in the kiddos trucks. They worked really well for him too. So other than that, that's all I've ever used there outside of that. But instead, I do have the 5th scale one for the SCX6. I think I have the V1, so even it's not as fast as his newest one, but it's pretty spicy on 4S. I'm getting rid of the Micro X2s. The only one I have left is my original in the S610 Pro. Because it's worked. That first one has worked absolutely amazing. All the other, actually, even my other ones, I've had okay luck with it. I just didn't want the sound. Shift RC again. Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many good companies. Regardless, if I'm a driver for one or not, not bashing other companies down. They all make good servos, and they're all really, really nice people, especially meeting them in person and whatnot. Super nice people, always helpful and stuff like that. So, yeah, for me, that's a win. If you're nice, I mean, it's not hard to be nice, so it's always good to see. Okay, so Hey, Gary. Do you know when drive shafts will be back in stock? Not that I don't think I need any. I think I have enough drive shafts to finish the hide this weekend. But that will be I'm out. I used my last EXO drive shaft on the Nessie. But I have others that make do, but I do want to change them out at some point. Yeah, the first version of X2 before the external BC was, that initial release with internal, those worked great. All the external BECs, and even, I guess, some of the newer ones that have been revamped that have the internal BEC back in them, I guess those have even had a few problems here and there. But, I mean, I know when I've had problems, or even Theron's had problems, he sent them back in, and, Castle's always take care of them. Because, technically, Castle's only a couple hours away from us. Castle's here in Kansas, so. Oh, the original one was the one that shut down. Damn. That was weird. And see, I haven't had any problems with the original ones. You have an EXO shaft? Full size, or did you do the top shaft? If you have a full size Theron, I may need to sell it. You really need to sell me those pink 2.2 shifts, you're right. No. Those are one of my favorite wheels regardless. That was good. The only, slightly used. I do have a set still sitting here on the shelves of the KMC 2.2s. I have them on nothing, and I don't know what to put them on. But I don't want to get rid of them either. Oh, Theron, we got balls. So we can tell gates apart now, or different courses. So I grabbed some purple, really green, and blue. So figure, and each bag came with 12 balls, which is enough for a full course, but I figured 10 gates, use 10 of them for the 10 gates, and then 2 bonus gates, or just switch colors around and build the courses. They have a few more colors. I think they have pink left, orange, and like a light blue or a black. The black looked cool, but I figured we'd lose black tennis balls and not be able to write on them. So I want to get a few more sets. And I said there's 3 other colors, so I want to get those ordered so I can do 6 courses. So I'll be cutting those this weekend. Amazon. You already have the green and blue. Well, now we have more green and blue, okay? I couldn't remember if you had the light blue or the dark blue. So there is light blue. I can order that too. The thing about the companies is that they stand by their stuff. If you have an issue and speak right to the owner, you get sorted out. Exactly. That's one thing about with the smaller companies. You get right to the owner. The owners are active on their fan pages. They can get you taken care of. It's just always one thing too, regardless of who it is. If you have a problem, always try to message the company first instead of blasting their fan page. One, that will tend to get you roasted. It just always happens, whether it's a legit concern or not. It tends to get roasted, but reaching out directly first for an issue before blasting. That's just a rule of thumb. Unless it's like something like absolutely terrible, which I don't see anything super crazy. But yeah, that's the thing I've seen a lot lately. Is just people unhappy with like one purchase, one little thing's wrong, and they just put everything on blast across all the pages without giving anybody a chance to fix it. Like you see it with any of the link pages or chat, it doesn't matter. It's no one in particular. It just, there's always that person's like, oh, I have one thing that was 1 millimeter off, or one hole wasn't deburred fully, and they just go bonkers on a post and then it's always like, well, did you reach out and ask about it? No, I'm just posting here about my dissatisfaction. Well, if you just reach out to them, almost everyone I know that runs any of the companies, they'll take care of you. They'll send, if it's a messed up reel, they'll send you a replacement reel. If it's something, they'll take care of you. Just, you don't have to blast them. Because honestly, like, regardless, customer service, I know it'll come around, but and a lot of them are a lot nicer than one they probably want to be or than I would be. Like, if you didn't reach out to me and then you put me on blast on my fan page, I'm probably not helping you anymore. I'm probably not. I may even just refund your money and just let it go. Like, don't even run my stuff. I don't care. Don't tag me. Don't do anything. Carry on. But, I mean, they take plenty of abuse. Preach. I got you. Like I said, it's not anybody. It's everywhere. Every fan page. It's all every day. It's everything. Doesn't matter what it is. Something simple, or even if it's like not necessarily related. It's just crazy. Oh, that's right. He's moving. That's right. Hope has moved. That's right. He's moving. He's busy. Never mind. We're not going to worry about it. He's got enough stuff going on. So if he's going to be in the Midwest-ish now, he can come down to Crawlapalooza. Full. Ooh, sweet. I asked about that the other day. I got dips. Yeah. Man, I like those. But yeah, Gary, if you I just searched, just do tennis ball and colors, and they'll pop up. There's a couple different sets of things, and those were like, I think, $13 or $14 for a pack of 12, and they have several different colors. I was hoping for like red, but I didn't see any. I already have green and blue, 2 sets each. Oh, so we have plenty. So you have 4. Oh, we're probably good then. I don't know. I may get a couple more of the other colors, and maybe we can do all the bonuses in one specific color. I also need to order Sharpies. I'm out of Sharpies, and I need to write on them. I'm trying to remember how I cut all the gates out last time. I think I cut each one by hand, or if I had a bandsaw. Is Justin still in here? Justin, you have a bandsaw and want to cut the gates? Just cut them in half. Yeah, well, Clash is in September, so maybe September, and then, end of October is Crawlapalooza, if that is there. How are you going to cut them? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think I cut them all, but the last time I did a bunch of gates, I cut some by hand, but one time I know I had a bandsaw and just zip, 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 and just cut them in half. But see, I think Justin has a bandsaw. See if Justin will cut some gates. Current farmers used to buy used tennis balls on eBay. Giant box for like $25. November is Clash. I thought it was supposed to be in September. What's in September? What event? I mean, I know Apex Scale Challenge is in September, but I thought there was another event in September. Is that Proline is Proline in September? Proline September, Super Shafty, Fall Crawl, and Crawlpalooza are in October, and then Clash is in November. And yeah, Apex is in September. So speaking of also, yeah, if you're in the Midwest and want to do just a Class 2 cheater rig comp, the whole weekend, all Class 2, all weekend, that's going to be fun. And it's at Disney, which is amazing terrain. Proline's in September. Okay, I was like, I knew there was one in September. PVC plier style cutter. That's brilliant. That would actually be a good cut every single time, too. Yeah, the used tennis balls, that's how I got my first big, like, stash of tennis balls for courses. We had one of the guys at work, I think the owner actually, he had a tennis ball machine for his dog, and it went out, so he just got rid of it. Was like a garbage can full of trash can tennis balls. So I think I took them all. So I know I actually have a lot built for courses, but the colors help out amazing. As you know, all this color is one course. And then if you're looking, you know, okay, that's a course, and that's a course. Especially if you have them, like, set up in a line. So you're like, okay, purple, purple, purple. Okay, all purple's a course. Oh, all the blue is another course. Okay, cool. That makes life pretty easier. Oh, we have art comps in November, too. So that's another reason see, the comps seem to be moving around. Like, it's really hard to get me out of here around October especially with Crawlpalooza, just because Crawlpalooza is so close. And I said this year it's still on the fence necessarily, but it's so close. Like, not that I want to, but I could drive down in the morning, comp, drive home, drive down the next day, comp, drive home. Like, I can do that. It is close enough to do that. I don't want to. I like to hang out at night with everybody. Do some night runs, hang around the fire. We all drink and have a few drinks and have some good laughs. So that, I think, has been the super fun part. And I think that's one part that, I know we still have plenty of fun on the courses at Rocky Mountain, but I know because we're all tired and it was just cold and rainy, we didn't have a whole lot of hang around at nighttime type of moments. But actually, I did it because I was tired. But that's one thing I really like with Crawlpalooza, is we just have some fun. Could use a white paint pen for my. Oh, I do have a box of paint pens because I've been doing all my anime painting. Trade out Baja Blast, root beer. Perfect combination. Okay, rear axles in there, ready to rock and roll. So yeah, hopefully this weekend. So I already got the Nessie built because I knew I was gonna have to do a little bit of work on the Nessie, so I actually built it before I was doing the video. So that'll just be here it is video. Let's go crawl. The hide I'll have more of an introduction just because the hide is more of a complex style chassis, and I do want to show off the three pieces, and so you can kind of see and explain more of the details on it necessarily. Then we'll do pictures as I progress through the build. Hopefully Sunday get them both out, get some crawling footage, and then get them lost. So hopefully late Sunday or Monday we should have videos on both the Nessie and the hide ready to rock and roll. I'll charge up, get some batteries charged up. Maybe if I have to, maybe I can sneak away another. At some point I will get some crawling footage done. and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Other than that, everything else is going pretty smooth. And actually, that's I pumped out quite a few builds in a row, but at this point now, I don't have any performance or any comp builds really on the agenda or on the schedule to get like knocked out or anything like that for a while. I think I've got just about everything. No, I'll order a mullet later. So there will be that one. We will have a performance mullet build. Leaf spring, because why not? Why not build a performance leaf spring truck? Because we can. But other than that, maybe hopefully the U-Tron. So I really do want that, mostly just because I want the IFS. But I'm also want to do leaf springs on the rear, because IFS front, leaf spring rear is scale. And that's how I want it. Or trailers. I decided if I'm going to do I'll rocket stock for a little bit, but at some point I do want to do a kind of pre-runner Tundra build. So rather that means I do a trailing arm in the rear, IFS in the front, fun haver style, or trailing arm front, leaf springs in the rear. I think either way would kind of be pretty good. Now that I've got one of the little handheld tube benders that I've been working and making the bumpers and cages with, that makes life so much easier when building anything. Like my cage work is still not good by any means, but that little hand tube bender made life a lot easier. And I made a nice little order with RC Fab Tabs the other day. So plenty of good stuff. So I can get some more stuff going. I found a tube that works really good, and I learned how to braze. So probably go a little bit on that one. But other than that, probably just some trail builds here and there. It's also back to school starts, so I kind of cut down during the week as far as back to school, just make sure he's got homework and everything else done and whatnot. But we'll probably slow down for a little bit. Plus, at this point, we got Apex. It's just over a month away. A month and a half away for Apex, and then Crawlpalooza will be October, and then our local end of the year comp is November. So those are my last three, and I don't have to worry about circle points until then, because you Oklahoma people eliminated us from your series basically. If you're still in here, I'm not mad. I'm just having fun. The Oklahoma comp series is Sorka base, which we've been going to, except the next location, because some weather, which it is what it is, weather happens. The comp got rescheduled to a new location. That new location's, for us here local, it's a 5-hour one-way drive on a Sunday. So it's like 5 hours there, comp all day, and then 5 hours back. Most of us are out now. I think all of us are out now, because it's too much on a Sunday, too far on a Sunday just for a one-day comp. But yeah, honestly, so the Nessie here is pretty sweet. I'm pretty excited to get it out. I said I've wanted to do an XR 10 width build for a while. I think I was planning my sporty build around them. Just haven't got around to it. Plus, I know EXO is releasing a sporty chassis here and links and whatnot soon. Probably here after it gets moved and settled down and everything. So whenever that drops, I'll probably snag one of those. I also have another sporty chassis here, I guess, too. I'll eventually get one built. Crawlpalooza, I may have to drive someone's, because I do want to try that this year on Sunday. Probably stay around for some sporty action on Sunday or some TTC. So that's generally the thing. I do have a truggy I could put back together and run as TTC, I suppose. But so I think Jake has I gave him my TTC Wraith, the BGR cage and everything, so he's got that running. Ended up selling the other BGR Wraith because it got a good offer on it, so we let it go. Those are two trucks I probably should not have let go. But it's okay. everyone else is getting used to them and they're enjoying them. But yeah, definitely excited. I need to put this on the scales because this thing is insanely light, and I don't even have like good foams in here right now. Like these are just some cheap like baby dual stage foams, and I actually think they're gonna hold up really well. But honestly, this is kind of just for now, because honestly, if I do come up with this, I'm probably switching out and putting my Class 3 tusks back on, because they're just, I like the cut and shed tusks for C3 with the anti-foams. Just do really, really, really well for me and my terrain and stuff like that. But all in all, definitely happy with the way this came out. I need to, now that I'm remembering, my windshields are still clear. I need to paint those. Trying to decide if I should just paint if I should paint the windows black, or if I should do like a mirror finish. Yellow, I don't think the yellow will look good. Mirrored wouldn't be too bad. The mirrored chrome, I might do the mirrored chrome. I think that'll look pretty good. Eventually we'll put a Phoenix back together and go from there, but I need to order the brazen, the full party mullet. I may take my mullet and make my mullet a leaf spring mullet full party. I think I could probably do that. Because it is F10s. I have the F10 leaf spring mounts already, but that's about it. I think I'd still need leaf springs and a few other things. They're on. Oh, yeah, okay, you do have the red ones. Alright. Either way, doesn't hurt to have extra. What wheelbase in that thing's like 13 and a half. Yeah. 13.5 is the wheelbase on the Nessie, which I think that is longer than my nope. My other Class 3 is also 13 and a half, so C3, 13 and a half. It's a good wheelbase. I like it. What is the cheapest motor I run? The Kiddo Struck has a Fusion, has the Hobby Wing SE combo in it. That's the cheapest thing on any of my trucks. The Yellow Jackets, I think the Yellow Jackets, I don't know what they actually cost. I think they're $80 is what the Yellow Jackets run, or $75 or $80. That's in every truck is that. And everything's brushless. The only brush setup that Kiddo, the Gatekeeper we have, is on a brushed Hobby Wing setup. Other than that, everything's brushless. There we go. But anyways, so I think we'll rock it for a little bit more here, but we'll probably call it early here in just a few minutes, just because it is hot, especially back here in this RC room. Like, I have a vent. It's not a very efficient vent because it's all the way back here, and this was an addition, so it does get pretty warm back here, especially on an already hot day. I've been running the Extreme Route Short at 1800 kV. I haven't heard that one, but yeah, I mean, there's motors out there. And, I mean, a lot of times, I mean, you can keep a build, cheap and budget, but like sometimes cheap and good don't go together all the time. cheap, like if it's on sale and you got a good price, that's one thing. But not always, like building on a budget's one thing. It's kind of just, set an overall budget, get the base of your truck ready to rock and roll, and then kind of go, from there. As far as electronics, I mean, you can get, if you want a nice brushless setup, you can always get that later on, but if you want to run it now, you can always just get a nice, like a Hobby Wing brush combo setup. I think that's like, for a 1080 and one of the new Hobby Wing brush motors, it's like $60 for motor and ESC. And that'll get you rocking and rolling for a good little bit. At least get your truck out and on the rocks and have some fun, and then you can, upgrade, bits at a time. Maybe pick up, ESC one, at some point, then pick up a motor, or keep your eye on for sale pages too. There's a lot of stuff on the RC, like classified and stuff like that also, but do make sure to check the good, bad feedback, good, bad feedback RC page, so if you're getting scammed or not. That has a list of known scammers and stuff like that. So always keep your eye. That page is thing. It exists. I think there's one on the forum on RCC too. I don't know how updated that one is, but one on Facebook is checked regularly. It has constant activity. So always just be careful. If it's someone you don't know or don't have a reputation for, always, send it a safe way, Goods and Services or whatever. Just make sure you're covered, or however that works. But I generally don't buy online for people unless it's someone that I've met in person at some point in time and have comped with at an event. That's just, or they have just a really, really good sales reputation, and it's pretty safe because they can't afford, if they have a really good sales reputation, they're not going to just randomly scam you necessarily, because it's going to all come back on them. But yeah, I mean, if you're just looking set up, I mean, I just grabbed one of those Hobby Wing brush setups. I said $60. It's a 1080, which is a rock solid brush ESC, and one of the new, their quick run 540 motors, and I'll get you up and running. I said it's in the Gatekeeper, and it actually does really, really well. Super smooth, nice, quiet, and works really, really good. Let's see, what is next week? 20th? I don't think I have anything going. But anyways, yeah, we're going to go ahead and call tonight. Again, as always, thanks everyone for tuning in, hanging out, and everything. Definitely appreciate it. Always enjoy conversating, see what everyone's up to, and hanging out with everybody. So, as always, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Should be good. Hopefully next week we can get another live stream in and going from there. One last one real quick. How did I get the Class 3 to 13.5 wheelbase? With links. Those are the links that came with the Nessie, and I just picked the Class 3 links. I didn't even know which wheelbase it actually was. I didn't read that far. I just clicked Class 3 links. I had to adjust a couple of them just because they weren't for axles that I used. So I just had to manipulate a couple links and got it going. But anyways, that'll be it for the night, everyone. If you are in this hot weather, stay cool, stay hydrated, have fun.